Good morning, students. Now come to the theorem 10.8. It says that the angle subtended by an arc is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. See, this is a circle I'm drawing, and we are taking this point P and this is Q. So this is arc. You can see this part of the circle from P to Q. This is an arc, and this is the center of the circle O. So if we join OP and OQ, so this is an angle subtended by this arc at center O. This angle is subtended by this arc PQ at center O, and we are taking in the remaining part of the circle. This is the remaining part of the circle. This is the arc PQ. This is the arc PQ, and this is the remaining part of the circle. So if we take any point on the remaining part of the circle, for example, we are taking here A, point A. Now join AP and AQ. This is angle PAQ. PAQ. So the theorem says that the angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it on the remaining part of the circle. Means this angle POQ is double the angle subtended by at any point on the circle. Here it is measured to right at the center, at the angle subtended by an arc at the center. You will write here at the center. At the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. So we can say this is angle POQ and this is angle PAQ. So angle POQ means angle subtended by this arc PQ at the center is double the angle, means 2 times the angle subtended by it on any point on the remaining part of the circle, means PAQ. We need to prove this. This angle is a double. And one more thing, this point A can be anywhere on the remaining part. It can be here also. It can be here also. It can be here also. In any case, this angle POQ will be double of the angle this one for any at any point on the remaining part of the circle. So this we have drawn. This is a circle. We have drawn 3 circles because we are taking 3 cases. Okay, firstly PQ is the minor arc, means small, and this is the semicircle. This is point P and this is Q. Now this arc PQ is semicircle, and now in the third case this arc PQ is major arc. We are considering 3 cases. Now see, we have joined and we have taken point A here. Firstly A here, and in the second case A is here, and the third case it is here. And firstly write the given part. An arc PQ of a circle subtended angle POQ at the center and angle PAQ at any point on the remaining part of the circle. This is given. Now what we need to prove? We need to prove that angle POQ is equal to angle PAQ. That we need to prove. Now the next, we are extending this OA, this line OA we are extending up to point B. This is point B. This is point B. In all the cases we are doing the same. Here also we have extended, we have produced OP to point B. This is point B. And in the third case also we have produced OA. This is OA and we have produced it up to here, and this is point B. And we are giving name also to the angles. You can see this is angle 1 outside, this is angle 2. See this. We have produced OA up to point B, and this we are taking as angle 1. And you can see this is a triangle OAQ. OAQ, this is triangle. We are giving this name to angle 2. This is angle 3. And 1 is the exterior angle. It is outside this angle OAQ. Now see in the second one, in this angle AOQ, AOP means this angle. This angle we are giving name as 5. This is 6. And this outside this angle we are taking it as angle 4. Now you can see clearly. These are in the same way we are giving name to other also. Angle 1, 2, 3. This is 4, 5, 6. Same as it is. In the third one also we are giving name same names we are giving. Now come to how to come to the proof. This is the proof. We are starting from here. We are starting from here. This is the proof. So now in triangle AOQ, firstly we are taking triangle AOQ, means this only, and this is the point B. We know that this angle 1. Yes. So in triangle AOQ means this angle 1 is equal to angle 2 plus 3. How this angle 1 is equal to angle 2 plus 3? We know that by exterior angle property, if there is any triangle, so this angle is exterior angle, this is equal to the sum of interior opposite angles. Means this angle we are taking as 1, this is angle 1, and we have taken this as 2 and 3. So angle 1 is equal to angle 2 plus angle 3. That means the same thing we have written here, and write the reason or also exterior. This is the sign of angle, exterior angle property. So this is our equation number 1. This is our equation number 1. Now see, OA is equal to OQ also in this triangle. In this triangle OA is equal to OQ also. How it is equal? How these are equal? Because these both are the radii of the circle. OA and OQ both are the radii of the circle. So means angle in, if OA and OQ are equal, means this is isosceles triangle. So in an isosceles triangle the base angles are equal. We know that if any triangle, this is isosceles triangle, these two sides are equal, so these angles are also equal. Angles opposite to equal sides are equal, we know that. So we are writing the same thing here. OA is equal to OQ as radii of a circle, so we can write angle 2 is equal to angle 3. This is our equation number 2. And now we are putting the value of equation 2 in equation number 1. Means in place of angle 2 we are in place of angle 3 we are writing angle 2. This was the equation number 1. In place of angle 3 we are writing angle 2. From equation number 2 we have got that angle 2 and 3 equal. So in place of angle 3 we have written angle 2. Now in the next steps I have written here on the right hand side. So angle 2 plus angle 2 means how much it will be? It means 2 angle 2, 2 times angle 2, that it is written here. Then take it as equation number 3. Similarly in triangle AOP, in triangle AOP, this, so we can say in similarly angle 4 1 minute. Angle 4, similarly angle 4 is equal to the sum of angle 5 and 6, in the same way as we have done as we have done in triangle AOQ. In the same way we will do in angle AOP. Angle 4 is equal to angle 5 plus angle 6. The same thing we have written here. Angle 4 is equal to 2 into angle 5. Why we have taken as 2 into angle 5? Because the angle here also OA and OP are equal. Here also OA and OP are equal, means this is also isosceles triangle, so angle 5 and 6 will be equal. So we, in place of angle 6 we have written angle 5. So angle 4 is equal to 2 into angle 5. This is our equation number 4. These are the two equations that we are going to add, adding equation 3 and 4. So in the next step we are writing equation number 3 and 4. See, this is equation number 3. It is written here, angle 1 equal to angle 2 into angle 2, and this is equation number 4. Angle 4 is equal to 2 into angle 5. Now we are adding. So angle 1 plus angle 4, it is written here, and 2 angle 2 into 2 into angle 5, this is written here. Now we know that angle 1 plus angle 4 means these angle 1 plus angle 4 will be equal to angle POQ. 1 plus 4 means this is 1, this is 4, means sum is equal to angle POQ, this whole. So we have written here POQ. Now in these two angles we can see 2 is common. In these two terms 2 is common, so we are taking 2 as common outside. In the bracket we are taking angle 2 plus angle 5. Now angle 2 plus angle 5 means this angle and this angle. It is if we do the sum, so it is equal to angle PAQ. This is angle PAQ. So we are writing angle PAQ. So angle POQ is 2 times the angle PAQ, means it is double, that we have proved. And we are writing reflex of POQ. Why we are writing this? Whatever we have proved, this is for all the cases, all 3 cases, means this and this. For all 3 cases angle POQ is equal to the 2 times of angle PAQ. So why we have written reflex? It is for here POQ is this angle also, so reflex of POQ means this one, so it is double of this angle PAQ. That's why we have written here reflex. So POQ is this also, now that it is also POQ. So we are not taking this POQ, we are taking this one. That's why we have written here reflex of angle POQ is equal to 2 times of angle PAQ. Now come to the next theorem. Angles in the segment of a circle are equal. So you can see this is a circle. PQ are the 2 points on the circle, and segment, what is the segment? If we take any circle like this, and this is point P and this is Q, if we join this, it is a chord. PQ is a chord, and the area between a chord and arc, this region between chord and arc is called segment. So we need to prove in this theorem that angles in the same segment of a circle are equal. Means if we draw angle, or if we take any point on the circle, here we are taking this angle, so this angle is on this segment. This angle is on this segment, and one more angle we are making here. So these angles will be equal because these are on the same segment. This we need to prove. If we make any angle on any point on this circle but not in this segment, so that these angles will be equal, that we need to prove. Now come. So we are making 2 angles. We are taking 2 points A and C. This is point A and C, and we are joining this and this. and this is the center. This we are also joining center O. So what is given? Segment PQ subtending angle PAQ and angle PCQ at point A and C on the circle, and angle POQ at O. Now to prove, what we need to prove? We need to prove that angle PAQ means this angle is equal to angle PCQ. So now we are proving. We know that angle POQ is 2 times of the angle PAQ, that we have proved in the previous theorem, that we are writing here. Angle POQ is equal to 2 times of angle PAQ. In the same way, angle POQ is 2 times of PCQ. So we are writing angle POQ is equal to 2 into angle PCQ, and write the reason also. Angle subtending by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. This is the theorem that we have proved. Now we are comparing equation number first and second. We are taking this as equation 1 and equation 2. So if we compare, we can see the left hand side of both the equations are equal. So we can write the right hand side parts are equal. If left hand sides are equal, so right hand side will be also equal. So we are comparing in this way and writing 2 angle POQ is equal to 2 angle PCQ, that we have written here. 2 will be cancelled on the both hand side. It is, so angle PAQ is equal to PCQ. Now it is proved right here, hence proved. Theorem 10.10 is deleted from your syllabus. Now come to the next theorem, 10.11. The sum of either part of a cyclic quadrilateral is 180 degree. The quadrilateral is cyclic. So if the sum means sum of opposite angles, means angle A plus C. If angle A plus C, these are the opposite angles of quadrilateral. If these are equal, if their sum is 180 degrees, that we can say the quadrilateral is cyclic quadrilateral. What is cyclic quadrilateral? Cyclic quadrilateral is that quadrilateral in which all the 4 vertices, means all the 4 corners, lie on the circle, or lie on the circumference of the circle, on the edge of the circle. This is the edge of the circle. These all 4 corners of this quadrilaterals are lying on the edge of the circle. We need to prove this. Now, so firstly we are making the diagonals of this quadrilateral like this, and we are giving names also as angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in this theorem we are proving that angle A plus angle C is equal to 180 degree, and angle B plus angle D is equal to 180 degree. Now proof, see the proof. Angle 5 is equal to angle 8. How these are equal? Angle 5 means this angle is equal to this angle. How these are equal? Because angles on the same segment are equal. This is the segment AB, ये segment AB है, and on this segment these two angles, angle 5 and angle 8, are equal. So we will also write the reason angles on the same segment AB. So we know that these are equal. Now see the next one. In the same way, angle 2 and angle 7 are equal. How these are equal? Because on segment BC, angle 2 and angle 7 are there. So these are equal. Now in the same way, angle 1 and angle 4 on segment CD. Now on segment CD, angle 1 and angle 4, these are equal because on the same segment. Now see the next one, angle 3 and angle 6 on segment AD. This is the segment AD on which angles are there? Angle 3 and angle 6. These both are equal because on the same segment. This we have just proved from the previous theorem. So we are taking these four all as equation number 1. I don't have a space, so I have written here in very small here. This is not only for the last line, it is for all four. This is equation number first. We know that now the next thing is that we know that the sum of all angles, as also right here, all angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. We know that. So we are writing angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D equal to 360 degree, not 180, it is 360. Make it correct, by mistake I have written. So now in place of angle A, we are writing angle 1 plus angle 2. This is angle 1 and this is angle 2. So in place of A, we are writing angle 1 plus angle 2. In the same way, in place of angle B, we are writing angle 3 plus angle 4. Now in place of angle C, we are writing angle 5 plus angle 6, like this. Now in place of angle D, we are writing angle 7 plus angle 8 equal to 360 degree. So firstly we are going to prove that angle A plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. So which angles are lying in angle 1 and angle A and C? Angle 1, 2 and 5, 6. These four angles are there. So we need to make an equation with these four angles. So in this we are taking only these four angles. So angle 1 will be as it is angle 1, angle 2 will be as it is as angle 2. Now angle 3 are not lying in here, are not lying on angle A and C. So in place of angle 3 we can write angle 6 from equation number first. Angle 3 is equal to angle 6. So we can write here angle 3 is equal to, in place of angle 3 we are writing 6. How we are writing? From equation number first, it is written at the corner because angle 6 is lying on angle C. Now see the angle 4. Angle 4 is also not here in these four angles. So in place of 4 we are writing angle 1. We have written here. Angle 5 is lying here, so we are not changing. We are writing as it is angle 5. Angle 6 is also lying here, so we are writing as it is angle 6. Angle 7 is not lying here, so in place of angle 7 we are writing angle 2 here. Now angle 8 is also not lying here, so from equation number first, in place of angle 8 we are writing angle 5, this one. Now the next step is here. So we can see now in this step we have 2 times angle 1, 2 times angle 1, this is also 1, this is also 1, so this will be 2 angle 1. In the same way 2 times angle 2, this is 2 and this is also 2. So 2 times angle 2 and 2 times angle 6, and in the same way 2 times angle 5. Now the next step is here. So 2 angle 1, 2 angle 2, 2 angle 5 and 2 angle 6, we are adding all plus sign between them. Now we have added in this way. So we can see in all these four 2 is common. In these four all terms 2 is common. So we are taking 2 as common outside, and inside the bracket what will be left? Angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 5 plus angle 6. This is there. Now this 2 we are taking towards right hand side and it will divide 360. You can see after dividing, angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 5 plus angle 6 is equal to 180 degree. So we know that angle 1, we can see angle 1 plus angle 2 is angle A, we are writing here. and angle 5 plus angle 6 is angle C. So we are writing here. So angle A plus C is equal to 180 degree, that we have proved now. It is proved. And we are taking it as equation number 2 because we need to prove that for angle B and D also. So how to prove this? We are taking as equation number 2. Now see, in equation number 2, this is the equation number 2. So in place of angle 1 we are writing angle 4. From where? From equation number 1. In the beginning we took the equation number 1. You can see angle equation 1, from equation number 1 angle 1 and 4 are equal, that we are taking. So now we are going to prove for angle B and D. So which angles are lying here? Angle 3, 4 and 7, 8. These four angles lying here. So we are writing equation with these angles only. So in place of angle 1 we are writing angle 4. In place of angle 2 is equal to angle 7 from equation first. In place of angle 5 we are writing, we as angle 5, it is angle 5. Angle in place of angle 5 we are writing angle 8 from equation first again, because on the same segment AB. So angle 5 is equal to angle 8. And in place of angle 6 we are writing angle 3, because these both are on the same segment. Which segment? AD. So these we are writing, and also write the reason from equation 1 in equation 2. You can see the equation 1 now. So angle, this we are writing together 3 and 4. In the next step we are writing 3 and 4 together and 7 and 8 together. You can see we have written 3, 4 together and 7, 8 together here in this way, and this is equal to 180. Now angle 3 plus angle 4 is angle B. So we are writing angle B, and angle 7 plus angle 8 is angle D. So we are writing it as angle D. Now this is equal to 180 degree, that it is proved. Now it is proved that we were doing that the sum of opposite angles of cyclic quadrilateral is 180 degree. Now the next theorem is 10.12, and this theorem is just converge of the theorem 10.11. If the sum of the pair of opposite angles of a quadrilateral is 180 degree, then the quadrilateral is cyclic. So we need to prove that if the sum is 180 degree opposite side, then the quadrilateral is cyclic. So firstly we are taking any quadrilateral we are taking. For example, this ABCD. It is given that the sum of opposite angles is 180 degree. It is given in the question, and we don't know it is cyclic or not. So suppose we are making one circle, and it is passing through point ABC only. We know that we already have read in previous theorem that how three non-collinear points are on the circle, lie on the circle, or how we can draw any circle on three non-collinear points. So now we are taking any quadrilateral ABCD. We take any quadrilateral ABCD. Firstly write the given a quadrilateral ABCD, and angle B plus D is equal to 180 degree, and angle A plus C is 180 degree. And we need to prove that ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. Now see, firstly in this case, if we draw a quadrilateral, if we draw a circle with 3 points, firstly we are drawing a circle with 3 points A, B and C. This is point A which is lying on the circle, this is point B, and this is point C. Now we are taking a quadrilateral. Okay, we are making a quadrilateral, so it maybe we are taking, it is not a cyclic firstly. So maybe the D point will lie inside the circle, or this, in the second case it may be outside the circle. This is the A, B, and this is C, and suppose D is lying outside the circle. So join this. So we are having two cases, so that we have drawn here. D may be lying inside the circle or outside the circle. We have taken it is not a cyclic quadrilateral. Now see, so now we can see, I have done some construction here. I have produced the AD, and where it is touching circle H at point D dash, and join this also C D dash in this way. Now in the second circle, we see where AD is intersecting the circle. It is intersecting at point D dash. This point we are giving as D dash. In both the cases, the name we are taking as D dash. Now the next step. So see the proof. Since ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral, ABCD not ABCD dash. We took ABCD, which was not cyclic quadrilateral, but we can see D dash. D dash is also on the circle. Point A, B, C, D dash. These four all are on the circle. So we can say this is a cyclic quadrilateral. So according to the cyclic quadrilateral, we know that the sum of opposite angles is 180 degree. So angle B plus angle D dash is equal to 180 degree. This is D dash, not D only. This is D dash. This is our equation number 1. We are taking it as equation number 1. Now, but angle B plus angle D is equal to 180 degree. It was given in the question. We have taken here. Angle B and plus angle D is equal to 180 degree. So now we are writing here given and taking it as equation number 2. So in these two equations, we can see right hand side parts are equal, 180 and 180 degree. So we are comparing these two equations. If right hand side parts are equal, so we can write the left hand side parts are also equal. So it is written compare equation first and second. We are comparing, and we are writing angle D dash is equal to angle B plus angle D. So angle B will be cancelled if we transpose. So angle B will be cancelled. So what will be left? Angle D dash is equal to angle D. It is written here. Angle D dash is equal to angle D, and it is possible if D and D dash coinciding, means they are lying on each other. Means D and D point, D dash and D will be on the same point. Only in this case these will be possible that angle D and D dash are equal if these 2 points are coinciding. So it is written here, if it means point D and D dash coincide, hence D lies on the circle, and if these are coinciding, it means D lies on the circle. So if it is lying on the circle, it means quadrilateral ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. It hence proved. You will write here hence proved.